The M of Manchester rapper Noel White, who's also known by the name of Whites, led to his own cousins and brother killing a man, that being Warren Burns, because he refused to be a witness in a trial after Noel White was M'd. Now the victim, 28-year-old Noel White, had been battered in the most barbaric way after leaving the club at 2 a.m. Now the judge heard his injuries were not like that of someone suffering from a hook or a jab or a boot, but that of a car crash victim, high energy impact, which meant Noah had literally been treated like a ragdoll. 37-year-old Hedley Plummer had been arrested for the M, and when he had gone on trial, his solicitors claimed self-defense, and they allegedly had good reason, namely because Noah was the aggressor, and he allegedly had a blade and tried to blade Hedley. The jury heard on Friday, June 15th of 2018, both men had been out separately in Withington. Both men had known each other previously and were not on friendly or speaking terms. They had personal issues with each other because a year before, Hedley Plummer and Noel White had got into a brawl and Noel had chomped on Hedley's ear, taking it clean off. Now the men had been spotted in the Indigo club at 2 a.m. on the now early Saturday morning. Following a disagreement inside the club, both men went outside and they were caught on CCTV, animated, worse for wear and excited as they argued with each other in front of other club goers. Now according to Hedley, he and Noah had walked off round the corner, out of shot from the CCTV, and went to a car park situated by the Moon Indian restaurant on Wimslow Road. The suggestion was not made by Hedley, but it was made by Noel, who had allegedly told Hedley, "I'll bang you out, and don't think you're bad. As a matter of fact, come on, let's go for a little walk and get away from here." Now Hedley obliged because at the end of the day, Hedley was a bigger man. He did not take it seriously and he was said to have been laughing at Noel, which probably made the situation that much worse. Now during a heated conversation, that was when words had stopped being exchanged and hands and boots were used. When Hedley had landed a strike on White's, it was said that White's legs had stopped working and he landed sideways on the ground with a loud thud. Unable to defend himself, Hedley allegedly had landed on Noel while his face was forward, on his ribs also and on the heart area, at a time when Noel was unmoving. In effect, Hedley was also seen landing double blows on him, double hooks and double jabs, as if someone was likened to the Hulk. Now the court heard that during the night, White had taken Class A, mainly white, and had also taken other stuff. He washed all that down with a lot of drink. Now he had been to multiple establishments, including pubs, including the Red Lion pub in Withington. Now according to witnesses, Noel had acted in a way that suggested he was looking for a scrap or a brawl, because as he forced his way into people's personal conversations, invading their personal space, grabbed people on their shoulder and talked to people in a rude way, he saw nothing wrong with his actions. Noel White, according to multiple witnesses, was also said to have offered a guy out after a man stepped up after Noel was flirting with a woman in the pub. The woman had taken a step back and multiple times she asked Noel to go away and tried to finish the conversation. Noel did not get the message and in fact he kept her in place. During the exchange, Noel held his hands up and then laughed, but says that he acted out of order, and he also says that he would apologise to the woman. The apology did not happen. Instead, Noel decided to get his sausage out to a male bar worker who had been outside the Red Lion pub after finishing their shift, and Noel then ended up in another argument with the pub worker as he was not amused and told Noel that kind of stuff is not funny. Noel then told the pub worker, "Do you know who I am? And I could you out if I wanted to." If Noel Clark would have gone home after the fiasco, after the Red Lion pub incident, he would still be alive, and his family would have still had their son, their brother, their cousin in their lives. But an already drunk Noel ended up in an Indigo club at 2 a.m, where he happened to cross paths with Hedley, and again, these two guys did not like each other. Again, outside the club, the two men were in a heated discussion. Noel White was angry, while Hedley was said to have been laughing at Noel's constant goading and promises to knock Hedley out. At one point, another club goer tried to do the right thing and attempted to defuse the situation by getting between the pair of men and says, "Chill out, you don't need to be scrapping." Despite there being a lot of people at the scene of the no one saw the initial contact between the two men. What was accepted, however, was the crowd had heard a loud thud, the echoey sound of bones making contact with the cold, hard ground. The sound was described as not normal and it took people back. It took people by surprise for a second. The crowd then went to see what happened, and they went in unison to the car park behind the Moon Indian restaurant and saw that Noel was on his back, face up, with Hedley Plummer towering over him, raining down blows to his face, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Some of them were double jabs and double hooks, again likened to a madman being the Hulk. The witnesses also says that the blows and force used were very, very, very hard. By this time, Noel White was not moving, but Hedley did not stop. Raising his leg up, he then put his leg down on Noel, target area, rib cage, heart area, then sadistically his face, all with a lot of force. Now people gasped. Now some witnesses had forcefully removed Hedley off Noel, while other people in the crowd decided to dial 999 and called for ambulance and police. And when Noel finally came around, he declined ambulance's help and medical treatment. Now it could be the fact that Noel was drunk or had White in his system or felt humiliated, as he had obviously lost the brawl by unanimous decision in front of club goers, or maybe he just wanted to go home and sleep it off. Noel's friend ended up taking Noel home. Now the court heard during that journey Noel had kept going in and out of consciousness, and to be honest his friend was concerned. When the friend took Noel home, he asked the neighbour to keep an eye out for Noel. However, Noel was said to have dismissed the neighbour's help before going inside. However, the pain must have become unbearable, excruciating even, because later that day a seriously injured Noel had called 999 himself and he pleaded for an ambulance. At an estimated time of 7:40 p.m, he explained to dispatchers that he did not feel well. Now an ambulance was sent and within 12 minutes, at 7:52 p.m, they were at Noel's Witherington address. Sadly, within an hour, Noel White, aka Whites, was declared dead. Now after an examination, after the fact, it revealed, leading to his death, Noel White would have been in excruciating pain. He had suffered fractured ribs, fractured jaw, bruising, and clean lacerations to the small bowels, which was not usual in a brawl type scenario, but rather seen in high impact and high energies coming together. Again, he was treated like a ragdoll. Now just 48 hours after Noel White had been declared dead, Hedley Plummer was arrested, and when police asked him to explain the relationship between Noel White and himself and the reason why the two men had fought previously, Hedley refused to answer all questions. When Hedley did decide to speak during his police interview, he did reveal to police that a year earlier, Noel had chomped on his ear but denied he wanted revenge, saying, "I didn't bear any grudge," and had no ill will towards the guy. In court, Hedley Plummer was sensationally acquitted and found not guilty of the or manslaughter, after it was deemed highly likely that Hedley had in fact defended himself against a man who was described as mad and had allegedly pulled out a blade on Hedley and then tried to blade him. The courtroom was met with astonishment from the White family and they were absolutely angry, while Hedley's family had applauded the decision. Again, the M of Noel White had led to the M of Warren Burns because he refused to testify in the case. Condolences. Stay safe. Safe.